it doesn't always begin with fireworks. Sometimes, the most powerful changes start in silence. A strange sense of discomfort settles in, not the kind that screams loudly, but the quiet, persistent kind. It whispers in your routines, in your thoughts, in the moments where things used to feel fine, but now seem misaligned. This is not anxiety. It's not fear. It's the subtle vibration of internal evolution starting to stir. You begin to sense a separation between who you are and who you've been pretending to be. The clothes you wear, the words you say, even the people you engage with, they all start to feel slightly out of tune. There's a tension, a friction, as if your soul is trying to speak louder than your habits. Bob Proctor often said, "You were born rich." And somehow, in these quiet moments, you begin to feel the truth of that, not financially rich, but vibrationally aligned with something greater. This shift can't be touched or measured. You can't point to it, and yet you feel it like a pulse under your skin. It's as if your energy field is stretching beyond your old patterns, reaching towards something higher. The law of vibration teaches us that everything moves, nothing rests, and right now, your inner frequency is starting to oscillate at a new rate, pulling your awareness to new dimensions of experience. You might not be able to explain it to anyone. That's part of the mystery. Friends might not notice. Family won't ask. But you feel the unseen current inside of you beginning to flow differently. You're no longer operating on autopilot. Something invisible has shifted gears, and from this moment on, nothing will ever quite feel the same. That's not a bad thing. It's the earliest sign of alignment. Before manifestations come, before synchronicities flood in, before life starts to look new on the outside, the shift always begins inside. Quiet, subtle, unmistakable. The universe doesn't shout. It whispers. There comes a moment when your emotions start acting like strangers. The reactions you used to have, irritation, envy, fear, begin to feel foreign, like borrowed clothes that no longer fit. It's not that you're suppressing them. It's that your energetic body simply doesn't recognize them in the same way anymore. The vibration is shifting, and with it, your emotional patterns are recalibrating. You might find yourself pausing more before reacting. That familiar rush of emotion, the old triggers, they arrive, but they don't land. They float. You observe them, rather than embody them. Bob Proctor often emphasized that we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. And as you become less emotionally reactive, you begin the process of attracting from a higher level of awareness, not from emotional chaos. This unfamiliarity with your past emotional state can be disorienting. Moments that once excited you might now feel hollow. Disappointments that used to crush you seem quieter. This is the vibrational purge, where low-frequency responses dissolve to make space for a new emotional language. One not built on survival, but on resonance. Your nervous system starts to settle. The highs and lows flatten into something more stable, more conscious. Not numb, but neutral. You begin to crave emotional clarity instead of emotional drama. And as this becomes your new standard, your external reality slowly begins to respond in kind, because energy responds to consistency, not noise. This emotional unfamiliarity isn't a loss. It's a shift in identity. You're not who you were, and the universe knows it. Every time you choose to observe instead of react, to breathe instead of lash out, your vibration sharpens. You're becoming the kind of person who manifests intentionally, because your energy is no longer at war with itself. At first, they seem like coincidences. A number that keeps appearing. A name you hear twice in the same day. A song that plays exactly when a certain thought crosses your mind. But as your vibration begins to elevate, these so-called coincidences increase in frequency, intensity, and meaning. This is not random. It's resonance. The invisible begins to echo back to you in small, undeniable ways. Synchronicities are not magic tricks. They are mirrors. Signs that your internal frequency is aligning with something higher, clearer, more coherent. Bob Proctor often spoke of the subconscious mind as a transmitter and receiver of vibration, and right now, your broadcast is being answered. The world begins to respond, not just to your words or actions, but to your energetic signal. This is when the material world feels less solid, more responsive. The timing of events becomes uncanny. People show up with the answers you didn't ask out loud. You think of someone, they message you. You set an intention, and a path appears. The fabric of reality thins, revealing that everything is deeply connected by frequency and attention. It's important here not to chase these signs, but to recognize them. The increase in synchronicities isn't the goal, it's the confirmation. A gentle nod from the universe that your shift is real and underway. When your internal state becomes deliberate, reality becomes more fluid, more cooperative, more alive. Eventually, you stop being surprised. You begin to expect the unexpected, not from arrogance, but from alignment. The more attuned you are to your own energy, the more you realize these synchronicities aren't anomalies. They're the natural response of a universe that's always been listening. It doesn't happen all at once. One day, you just stop needing the things you used to chase. The urgency fades. The craving becomes quieter. That job title, that relationship, that approval you used to bend yourself to earn, it no longer feels like something you need. This is not indifference. It's energetic release. Your vibration is rising, and with it, your attachment dissolves. When Bob Proctor taught about manifestation, he emphasized letting go as much as focusing in. The law of attraction responds most powerfully to certainty, not desperation. And when your vibration begins to align with your higher self, you no longer seek to grasp for what you desire. You become magnetic to it. That shift in energy, from needing to knowing, changes everything. You start to realize how much of your old hunger was rooted in lack. The chase for success was fueled by fear of failure. The pursuit of love masked the fear of abandonment. But now, as your vibration stabilizes, you begin to feel whole without external proof. That wholeness creates space, and in that space, miracles can finally arrive. This detachment might confuse those around you. They may think you've given up. But in truth, you've leveled up. You no longer need to own or control what you once idolized. Instead, you align with it, match its frequency, and allow it to flow to you naturally, or to leave if it's no longer part of your path. This is where real power begins. When you no longer crave from emptiness, you begin to receive from fullness. And everything that's meant for your highest vibration will arrive, not because you begged for it, but because you became the version of yourself who could hold it. After the detachment, there is silence, but it's not empty. It's profound. It's the kind of silence that holds weight, like walking into a room and feeling something sacred in the air. This stillness doesn't come from controlling your thoughts or escaping the world. It arrives because your inner frequency no longer needs noise to feel alive. The static is gone. The signal is clear. This calm is not apathy. It's presence. Your nervous system begins to trust life again. The endless mental loops start to slow. You no longer feel the need to chase answers or rush decisions. That deep breath you used to struggle for now finds you naturally. It's the body aligning with the soul. It's your energetic field harmonizing with a higher frequency. And when that happens, you don't need to speak loudly to feel powerful. Bob Proctor often described this stillness as clarity, the quiet certainty that comes when you're in harmony with your purpose. You stop second-guessing yourself. You begin to feel guided, even when you don't know where you're going. That guidance isn't coming from outside, it's rising from within. A deeper part of you has taken the lead, and your conscious mind is learning to trust it. This inner quiet shifts how you experience the world. You hear more in silence than you ever did in conversation. You observe without reacting. You feel things in advance, as if your intuition has found its voice and is now speaking through peace, not pressure. And this peace becomes your compass, pointing you toward people, places, and paths that mirror your new vibration. In this stillness, manifestation becomes subtle. You no longer need to scream your desires into the universe. You simply exist in alignment, and what matches the energy finds you effortlessly. Not because you pushed, but because you finally stopped pushing. As the stillness settles, something curious begins to stir beneath it, a magnetic pull, soft yet undeniable. You begin to feel drawn to places you've never been, ideas you've never explored, and versions of yourself you've never fully met. It's not driven by escape or boredom. It's a call, subtle but deep, from a part of you that knows there's more. This pull doesn't come with a map. It comes with a sensation. A flicker of excitement when you think about a new direction, a slight discomfort with staying in the familiar. What once felt safe now feels small. Bob Proctor taught that when your vibration shifts, your environment often becomes too tight, not because it changed, but because you did. And when your energy outgrows your old context, the unknown becomes less scary than staying the same. You start to entertain thoughts that once felt too far-fetched. A career change, a relocation, a creative pursuit, a spiritual path. These aren't random urges. They're invitations, signals that your frequency is aligning with a reality you haven't lived yet, but are now capable of reaching. The higher the vibration, the more expansive the possibilities. And yet, this pull toward the unknown doesn't always feel comfortable. There's often resistance, fear, doubt. But underneath that resistance is recognition, a knowing that the life you built is no longer a match for the energy you're becoming. That tension is sacred. It means the shift is real. It means you're standing at the edge of transformation. You don't need to leap blindly, but you do need to listen. When the unknown begins to call louder than the familiar, it's a sign you're no longer meant to repeat, you're meant to expand. And the vibration you're holding now is designed to carry you into a version of life where your soul finally feels at home. Right when you begin to feel the shift stabilizing, when your inner world starts aligning and the unknown starts calling, something strange happens. Life pushes back. People question your changes. Obstacles suddenly appear where there was once flow. Emotions flare. Relationships strain. It feels as if the world is trying to pull you back just as you're ready to move forward. But this isn't a sign to stop. It's confirmation that you're on the edge of something significant. Bob Proctor often spoke of the terror barrier, the invisible wall between the life you've known and the one you're meant to live. When your vibration begins to cross that line, resistance shows up, not to punish you, but to test your frequency. It's the universe asking, are you truly ready to hold what you've asked for? This resistance comes in many forms: misunderstandings, delays, fatigue, doubt. It's easy to mistake it for failure. But in truth, it's friction caused by energetic reorganization. Your old patterns, your old environment, even your old identity begin to push against your evolution, not because they're strong, but because they're being dismantled. You may feel tempted to shrink, to compromise, to return to the comfort of what's known. But this is the moment to stand still, not in fear, but in certainty. The chaos is not a step backward. It's the final clearing. Your new vibration is disrupting systems, beliefs, and connections that no longer resonate. That's not destruction. It's realignment. And once you pass through this intensity, things begin to move. Fast. Smooth. In ways you couldn't have planned. Because the resistance wasn't stopping you, it was shaking loose what couldn't come with you. It was life clearing space for the breakthrough you've already begun to embody. Then, almost imperceptibly at first, things begin to match. The outside starts reflecting what you've been cultivating within. Conversations feel deeper. Opportunities feel aligned. The energy in your home, your work, your body, it all begins to sync. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is resonance. You've shifted your vibration, and now reality has no choice but to follow. It's not about everything becoming perfect overnight. It's about alignment becoming visible. You notice that the people entering your life feel familiar, even if you've never met. The timing of events no longer surprises you. Even challenges feel purposeful, as if they're perfectly designed to stretch you just enough to grow, but not enough to break. Life begins to move with you, not against you. This is the law of attraction in motion, not in theory, but in embodiment. You're no longer trying to get something from the universe. You're living as someone who already has it. Bob Proctor said, "You don't get what you want, you get what you are." And now, that truth reveals itself in real time. You're not just thinking differently, you're vibrating differently. And the world, like a mirror, reflects it back. There's a calm power in this phase. You no longer feel the need to force, chase, or convince. You trust the flow because you become the flow. You recognize signs without searching for them. You hold your vision without clinging to it. And most of all, you no longer fear change, because now you understand that you are the change. This is where the transformation completes its cycle. Not with fireworks, but with recognition. You become the frequency of the life you once dreamed of. And from here, the possibilities don't just expand, they multiply.